Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Now joining me is Justin Lewis with KIS Futures. I want to thank you for being here. We kind of got a lot to talk about, but before we do, let's go into it. Tell us a little bit about KIS, what you guys offer for people that are involved, and kind of what you offer the industry.
Well, KIS Futures was founded in 1988 by Dennis Kistler. He is or at the time was a Chicago Mercantile Exchange floor trader, trading live cattle, feeder cattle, and Euro-dollar interest rate futures. It's from Weatherford, Oklahoma. So we're from right here in Oklahoma. And 1988 was the first year, so we've been around for 30 years.
You guys have been around a long time, and you guys have such a presence, especially with our industry. I know you deal with all different commodities and trading, but tell us a little bit about that. How, people at home, if they don't understand it, what are the nuts and bolts to it? How can they understand what it is that you guys do?
Well, being here in the central part of the United States, we're regionally located at the crossroads of two major industries with agriculture and then also oil and gas. Mm-hmm. And so a large part of what we do is build relationships with industry participants and try to figure out how can we help each individual customer and what risk aversion level they have, how much risk they like to take, how much risk they don't like to take, and then what strategy. Of course, you've got to be extremely flexible with the markets, and so there's a whole lot that goes into it, and everybody's kind of got a different take on it, so we just try to do the best we can to fit them in with the best scenario and strategy they can use.
I know one thing that you guys do is hedging, and I know that's very important to you guys as well as your customers. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, hedging is primarily what we do, and hedging is basically just offsetting your price risk, trying to stay in business for the long term. A lot of people like to speculate, and a lot of people speculate and call it hedging, but primarily what we do is assist customers in hedging and using the markets to take risk out of their business, not put risk into their business. And so that's what we do, and basically you take a position in a market that offsets your position in the cattle. And that's primarily what we do on a day-to-day basis.
If you have people involved in the industry or even on the outside of it that kind of want to be involved with you guys, but they're unsure, what are the motivating factors? What are, the factors that you can give them and the tools that you can give them to participate?
Well, we are right here in the middle of it. This is the middle of it. Superior is the middle of it, especially the ag industry. And so we try to keep a pulse of what's going on throughout the markets and cattle market. And so I think we provide a little bit of an advantage there. We also have access to all the tools, so electronic trading and whatnot. So we've got all the tools that you can have that the CME Group offers in terms of the cattle industry, and not just cattle, but wheat, corn, beans, etc.
Right before we came on, I think you told me you've been with KS for 14 years. What was it that made you go into this, and have you always had a passion for it, or is it something that's developed over time?
Well, for me, financial markets and innovation, and there's nothing more innovative than the derivatives futures market, and so that's what drew me in, and 14 years later I'm still here learning. And you are, and I was glad to have you on this morning. I feel like there's a lot I can learn from you, and there's more you'll forget than I'll ever know, but I appreciate you being on this morning. When we come back, Bubba Bain, don't go anywhere.